She's back. Taylor Swift hits the stage tonight to begin her second run of shows at Rogers Center, and Swiftie mania hasn't died down one bit. She has certainly made an impact here just as she has globally. And to talk more on her worldwide influence is longtime Rolling Stone magazine writer and author of the Taylor Swift book, Heartbreak is the National Anthem, is Rob Sheffield. Rob, thank you so much for being with us today.
Thank you so much. It's great to talk to you.
So if you're here in Toronto, Taylor Swift is certainly dominating the conversation with the Eras Tour being here for 3 more nights in the city. And in your book, which is out now, you talk about how Taylor Swift reinvented pop music. You're taking a deep dive into her career. So I got to ask you, what is Taylor Swift's global impact?
I think her main impact is that she has brought young girl fans to the center of pop music. When she began, it's funny that she was a teenage girl writing songs about her own life, and it was almost like it was her concept. It was almost a novelty, and she was alone in that. She had to fight to prove that that could be done. And look at pop music in 2024. That's just what pop music is. You've got your Sabrina, your Chapel, your Olivia, your Billy, your Gracie, all of these young women who don't sound like Taylor and don't sound like each other, but they took up the inspiration from her, and they're moving in on territory that she opened up.
And you also rank her songs as well, which I love that. You actually had a conversation with Taylor Swift where she told you that you changed her mind about one of her songs.
Yes, it was right when the Reputation tour was starting, and it was the first night of the Reputation tour, and I was talking to her before the show, and she said, by the way, I added All Too Well to the set list. I hope that's okay. But it's because of you. She said, because of your list, you really changed my mind about that song because it was #1 on your list as the greatest Taylor Swift song of all. She said, you convinced me it's not just a Red Tour song. So I was prepared that it was coming that night, but I still cried buckets anyway.
And like every Swiftie too, you also have your origin story that made you a fan here. Walk us through how you became a Swiftie.
You know, I had music on in the next room. I wasn't paying attention. I was just making my lunch. I was just making a grilled cheese sandwich. And I had this music on in the background, and I heard this country song that sounded like nothing I'd ever heard. Just the brashness in her voice, the humor in her voice, the confidence in her voice. It was called Our Song. It was one of her first singles. It was a country hit. And just the way it was put together with that amazing hook, Our Song's a slamming screen door. I thought everything about the song was so clever and so brilliant and powerful. And then at the end, she's talking about how she's listened to every song ever heard. She's a teenage girl who loves music, and yet nothing has really spoken for her and done justice to how she feels and her hopes and dreams. So she has to write it herself, and the song ends. I took a pen and napkin and I wrote down this song. And I loved how it was so cleverly crafted as her superhero origin story. It's how she became a songwriter. I love that.
And so I don't know if it's too soon to ask this question, but I'm going to do it anyways. I mean, Taylor Swift right now, she's at the height of her career. Is it too soon to ask what Taylor Swift's legacy is going to be?
I think she is like the Beatles or Motown or one of those legacies that continues to sound fresh over the years. It never sounds dated. And I think that's how Taylor's going to be, because in so many ways, her influence on pop music already is she's created a world of Taylor Swifts, and she's created a young audience that expects to hear their lives told in a song this way. So I think we'll still be listening to these songs all these years from now, the way we are with the Beatles. My last couple books were about David Bowie, Stevie Nicks, and the Beatles. And for me, Taylor is right up in that pantheon. Decades will go, but those songs will still find a new audience. Kids still hear those artists and still lose their minds, and I think it's going to be the same with Taylor.
By the way, really quickly, we have about 10 seconds left. You also, there's a song that you say is your least favorite, which I disagree with you, but I mean, it is your opinion, which is what?
Bad Blood.
I love Bad Blood.
I love that you love it. part of the fun of Taylor Swift is how much we love arguing about her. She is the most fun artist to argue about in pop music history. And she loves that. She loves being that way. Bless her for that.
I'll take it. Okay. Heartbreak is the national anthem is now out. Rob Sheffield, thank you so much for speaking with us today.
Thank you so much. I appreciate it.